Coming up later in the year here at my therapy rooms in Suffolk, I've got Hayden Ebert, who is a lucid dreaming expert. Hayden's coming for a whole weekend to teach people about lucid dreaming, about how to do it, or how to improve them, all these sorts of things. So it's going to be a really interesting weekend. I recently caught up with Hayden, had a chat with him all about what's going on over the weekend, all about lucid dreaming and that kind of thing. So if you want to know more, keep watching this video. Coming up, an interview with Hayden Ebert.
Wow.
Hi Hayden, thank you for joining me today. This is a really interesting thing. I'm really looking forward to sort of getting into some of this stuff and getting to learn more about lucid dreaming. I know you're the expert on the subject. I've been lucid dreaming on and off for 20 years and trying to get better for 20 years. And you know, sometimes a frustrating thing to you try too hard and you get less results. So, so I'm really looking forward to this. So I've got a few questions for you today that I want to go through that are going to hopefully explain a bit about lucid dreaming to people, the uninitiated, people who've never heard of it before, or people who even are already somewhat knowledgeable and they're kind of interested in what we're going to be doing. I'll just crack on. If it's all right with you, I'm just going to crack on with the questions. Fantastic. Okay, so first thing I think is worth explaining to people is what exactly is lucid dreaming?
Well, lucid dreaming is the state where you're aware that you're within a dream. So you go to sleep and you may have an unconscious dream beforehand, and then something within the dream causes a trigger which makes you wake up and realize that it's a dream, and then it takes on a whole different feel. It's not like the haziness of a normal dream where you wake up and think, oh, that's a bit strange. It's not like that at all. It's like a real life, here and now, solid experience, except you can obviously manipulate the environment and that sort of thing as well.
So it's like virtual reality on steroids sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in it, you know, absolutely in it at that time, and it feels as real. Sometimes, as strange as it may be to describe, sometimes feels more real than the physical, which is quite a strange concept to get across to someone, especially if they've never had that type of experience. But sometimes it can be hyper real. Yeah, someone's just up that HD intensity switch on real life.
Yeah,
that's how real.
It's certainly a very strange experience. The lucid dreams I've had, you know, I haven't had many long lucid dreams. Most of them are quite short, but the ones that I've had have been very intense and very strange and sort of make you question reality. You know, they're like you say, they're so real that then you wake up and you're kind of thinking you got it on your mind for a while. You're kind of thinking that was amazing how enhanced the senses can be and how
well, like you said about them being quite short as well, Ben, that's another thing that we will cover on the course, is how to prolong them, how to make them last a bit longer, because quite those initial experiences are quite short. And there's reasons for that, but we'll go into that on the course, obviously, and help people to increase the length of the dreams and spend a little bit of time in there, fully conscious, fully aware. And that really gives you a chance to explore then, and it's really interesting stuff. So excellent.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. So next question is, why would you do this? Why? You know, it's lucid dreaming sounds like a fun thing to do, but why?
I mean, the benefits of it are actually, I mean, there's so many of them, you can't list them all really. I mean, there's very practical and pragmatic reasons for practicing it, such as rehearsals for real life situations. You're directly in the subconscious, so you can, practice things that you might feel like you need to practice for real life. And that's been proven that when people have these experiences within the lucid dream, practice them, they're actually much better at physically performing them, because the brain and the mind-body relationship, it doesn't know the difference. It operates within that space and it doesn't know the difference. So that's a very practical application. Despite the fact, of course, it's massive amounts of fun initially, particularly you go in there, you're in a world where there's nothing holding you back. You can just, live out crazy ideas and do crazy things. You can
flying is a popular one. It's just one that I've done a few times.
Yeah, that feeling of freedom you get with that is just something that, particularly initially, people get really excited about and really want to explore that, and that's completely understandable. But then it's got a much deeper level to it beyond that as well. I mean, depending on one's inclination and what one wants to explore with it. But, you know, for me, I shouldn't put it out there to anyone else, of course, but I mean, for me, it's all about exploring what we really are, you know, what we are beyond this physical form and where we're going to go once we vacate this shell, as you like. That's what it's about for me on a deeper level. But there's lots of fun applications you can do with before you start playing into the deeper stuff. But it's really an eye-opener. It's a paradigm shifter once you start getting into these states on a regular basis.
For certain. I know one of my lucid dreams, I turned lucid while I was doing it. It wasn't, fortunately or unfortunately, it wasn't something I intentionally did, but it was brilliant. I went and saw Pearl Jam live in one of my dreams, and it wasn't just any old Pearl Jam. It was while they were, you know, at the peak of their early career, when they had the 10 album out, which is one of my favourite albums, and I got to see them performing songs from 10 live at the age they were at the time, which was you know, a pretty mind-blowing experience. And
fantastic,
so I've got a hit list when I get better at this, hopefully after the course. When I get better at this, I've got a hit list of, you know, I want to go and see the Doors, I want to go and see Pink Floyd. And
the thing, you know, once we get over that, the main hurdle which people have, which is getting from A to B, A being the physical and B being the dream state, once you can get over that reliably, then you really can start making your lists and deciding those things that you do want to explore. You can have, like you say, a hit list and go and do those things.
Yeah,
live them out.
Excellent. This is fantastic. So, can you tell us a little bit about who the course is aimed at? I mean, does it matter if you've never had a lucid dream? Does it matter if you already know a lot about it and are good at lucid dreaming? Or, you know, who's going to benefit from this?
Oh, I mean, it'll be a good mix for everyone. There's some new stuff that will be coming through. So if people don't know a jot about it, it doesn't matter. Come along, you can learn about it and hopefully induce some sort of experiences over the weekend or the coming time after that as well. But even if people have had experience or a small amount of experience, they've just had a few, we can teach, or it's going to teach how to get in there a bit more regular, how to prolong the state, as I mentioned earlier, and you know, some of the advanced techniques for accessing more regularly. And likewise for, you know, people who've got a bit of experience and they've had a bit more regularly, there's something for everyone in there. So I think it's something that's worth looking into, whoever you are, whatever end of the spectrum you are on.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a few people recently since we've been talking about doing this. I've spoken to a few people recently, and some of them reasonably sort of experienced lucid dreamers who are still saying, yeah, I could still do with some help working on this aspect. We've got a lengthening them, you know, being able to have longer lucid dreams, or you know, being able to just more reliably sort of get into the state in the first place and increase the hit rate sort of thing.
That's the main problem, I mean, in amongst the community really, is getting that reliable access. Reliable access is the most important thing. Get in there, and then it's prolonging it, because obviously they can be very short-lived, and if they are short-lived, it doesn't really give you a chance to explore. So lots of good techniques up the sleeve for that, and how to make that happen, and how to obviously re-enter as well. So you can re-enter numerous times in the same morning.
Right.
So that's something that we'll cover too. So yeah, there'll be something for everyone there.
Excellent. I mean, speaking of what you're going to be covering, what is the sort of format of the course? Like, you know, in terms of
it's going to run when. Yeah, it's going to run the Friday to the Sunday. So the Friday will be an evening start, early evening start. We'll have a chat about the basics of lucid dreaming and its potentials, and we'll run through spectrums of non-physical experience, so people know what we're talking about, terminology, that sort of thing. We'll run a meditation, an energy work meditation, which works on starting to feel that energy body, because there's a very fine line and parallel between the out of body experience and the lucid dream, which I put them into the same category. There's lots of debate, but I'll explain my reasons why on the course. And when I talk about that energy body movement, getting to know that and getting to feel that energy body is very important for the practice. So we'll be doing some of that on night one, and we'll run through some techniques. We're going to run through a technique which has been proven to have a lot of success with early practitioners, and that will involve waking up in the early hours of the morning after about 6 hours sleep. We'll then be practicing, we've got an audio track which will play for that, which will help people start to feel that energy body movement. And this is a bit of a precursor. If people get some experiences that first night, it'll be fantastic. But then we move on to the next day. In the morning, we'll meet up, we'll have a chat about any experiences people have had and any near misses people have had as well, and reasons why they might have been near misses as opposed to full-blown experiences. So that'll be something we'll cover the following day. We'll also cover things like reality checking, state checking, how to carry that habit over into the dream so we do it more regularly. So we're checking on why, what our state is at any one time. Because how often would we check that during the day anyway? I mean, if we're just normal, getting to, going through our day-to-day stuff, we don't check our state very often. And that's quite an important thing to start to learn how to do.
Yeah.
When something strange happens, to pick it up in the dream, switch on that critical faculty that questions things. We'll do a bit more energy work that day. And then in the afternoon, I'm really excited about this as well, to bring this to the table. So we're going to be working with a machine called the Pandora Star, which is a deep trance light meditation machine. It really is cutting edge of the light therapy world, this stuff. So it induces psychedelic states and brain entrainment. So that's going to be something I think people are really going to
massively
enjoy.
Looking forward to that. A little bit about it, and it sounds awesome. Sounds like an awesome experience to have a play with this machine. So
yeah, it's going to be good. I think people will enjoy that. Later on into the afternoon following that, we're going to cover a subject I've been working on myself quite a lot in recent months, and that's advanced supplementation for lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. And that is basically supplementation through normal means, stuff you can get on the internet and whatever else. And that is for...
So we're not talking about magic mushrooms or anything like that?
Not talking about mushrooms, no. Nothing illicit. Online, it's all natural substances, but all it is to optimize brain chemistry in order to make sure that your memory receptors are active and that sort of thing during the right times of the night. So we'll run through a number of things that you can be done for that, and there'll be an opportunity later in the day as to try some of those if people want to that evening. And we'll combine that with the techniques that we do, because like I said earlier to you, there's not a magic pill. You can't take something and suddenly have a lucid dream. It doesn't work like that. It's got to be combined with techniques. So when it's combined with techniques, it's just putting you in the optimum state in order to achieve that full-blown lucid dream or out-of-body experience. So
you got to put the work in. You got to put some effort in. But
you've got to put the work
in your favour to make that work optimised.
Absolutely, you want to be put at the in your optimum state for that, and I think that's going to be really interesting. I hope to have some success with everyone with that.
Yeah.
Later on in the evening, we'll run through some stories and tales of stuff that has been done on the other side. I think that'll be interesting as well for everyone, just sort of get a feel for what you can do in that state. And obviously we'll do Q&As and that sort of thing, and then just recap, and we'll go for it that second night. We'll really push so that people try and get those non-physical experiences happening. And then on the Sunday, we'll do a recap again. We'll cover over everything that we've already learned, and we'll be doing some takeaway stuff. People who can go on and do the practice ongoing. So that's the basic structure.
Brilliant. Excellent, cool. Okay, so just one more thing to cover really before we wrap up, which is the course dates and the location. So it's the 15th, 16th, 17th of November. Is that, am I remembering that? I should have written it down really. But that's going to be at my therapy rooms in Sudbury on the Suffolk Essex border. We're about an hour north of London. So if anyone wants to come and see us there's I'm going to put a page up somewhere. There'll be a link here somewhere to all the details you're going to need, everything you're going to need for how to find the place, and what local hotels, and whatever stuff you're going to need to do that. And obviously you and I are going to be available to people. Will be contactable, so if anyone has any special requirements, needs to know anything extra, they can contact us, and we'll try and make all that available to them. I'm excited as well. I've just recently moved office. I'm now in a new place with a decent sized space for teaching, and so we can have a class of up to about 30, but I don't know if you're putting limits on how many people. I think we've got to discuss this and what the limit of the class is in terms of practicalities and
Yeah, I mean, obviously there'll be seated stuff where everyone's sat in a chair and we're chatting, but it'll be good to have some laying down practices as well. So that I'll leave Ben to size up.
Okay, yeah. So, but spaces will be limited at a certain point. We'll have a cut off, and that's it. So it's worth getting in early. There is also going to be an early bird price for this, and details will be on the page what the early bird price is and what the full price is. And there'll be a link on the bottom of the screen somewhere coming up with all the info about how all that works and how to sign up and all of that stuff. So brilliant. All right, thank you, Hayden. I think we've covered everything. Is there anything else you want to add to it? Have we missed anything?
I don't think so. No, I think we've covered everything well enough there. So yeah,
brilliant.
I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks again, Hayden, and I'll speak to you soon, no doubt.
No problem. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
So there you have it. Hayden Ebert's coming here to do a weekend of lucid dreaming. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying planning it. I'm really enjoying talking to Hayden about some of the cool stuff that we're going to do. So if you want to come along, visit the web page and visit the links and do all that. All that stuff's going to be in the description. All the information you need. So it'd be great to see you there if you can come along. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for engaging with us. If you can give us a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. If you can subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. Like me on Facebook and all the usual stuff that people ask you to do, all of that stuff will be much appreciated. And hopefully I'll see you in November. Thank you very much for watching.